Was good, everybody. Good evening. Happy Wednesday night. Happy hump day. There is never a dull day in Yankee land, huh, gang? What is good? Let's do a quick roll call here and see what's up to the crew. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hayden's in the house. 4Train. What is good? Josh. Bryce. All right. What else we got here? More folks will pop in. T Drake is in the house. What is going on, everybody? Thoughts on Chiefs beating Eagles? I honestly thought, I had predicted the Eagles to win, but I am not surprised that the Chiefs won. They're a great team, and quarterback-wise, Mahomes is further ahead than Jalen Hurts. But it's good experience for Jalen Hurts, man. And I think the Eagles will be back. T. Drake, Sean Browning. Yeah, Marcel's in the house. What is good, baby? Yeah, Alan's here. Alan is here. In terms of this, Brian Reynolds did say earlier, not today, that would be to sign an extension with Pittsburgh. His tone seems to have changed ever since they insulted him with that ridiculous offer. So I would keep that in mind. He made it clear today that he wasn't happy, and he was looking for a better situation. So sooner than later as well. So, but he did say earlier that his number one goal was to work on an extension. But it's clearly not the Pirates. They're not on the same page. That's pretty obvious. At least they want to be on the same page on their terms, but they're so far apart. And why, it's just pointless. He'd be better off, honestly, going to at least in my opinion, better off going to a winning situation, being an impact player, because I think his skill set would be much more better utilized on a team that's competing on an annual basis. T. Woods, Aiden's in the house. All right, Yo Elvis in the house. Sunil's here. What's good? Isaac. All right. NFE's in the house. Booyah's here. All right. Doing well, guys and gals. D-Rod's here. What's good, baby? All right. The crew is here. The OGs are here, man. And the new Gs. I love it. I be good, D-Rod. How you be, man? How you be, baby? Aiden, I'll say this again. I am not ruling out the Yankees from Brian Reynolds. I am not ruling out. They've made it clear they're fielding calls on left field, and now I think it's now that he's reiterated this morning, and I saw the video. He's reiterated this morning that he's not happy there, and he's looking for a better situation. I think the likeliness of him going somewhere in a trade is higher. But I can't promise it, and neither can they. So we'll see what happens. But I feel more confident about him being moved, and the Yankees have a legitimate shot. They have a legitimate shot. No team has bit on their Soto package request, and that's not going to happen, honestly. So I am still confident that the Yankees get Brian Reynolds, but we'll see. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Andrea, hello, how are you? Yeah, and Montas too. Obviously, the shoulder surgery. I've had people asking me, and I want to know what you folks think. I've had people asking me today, does this mean, because obviously you have Nestor out, but I did get some encouraging words from Aaron Boone today on Nestor. He said his mobility is a little bit better, so that's a good sign. But I still expect him to be, taking several weeks, but that's always a good sign to have mobility better, particularly with a hamstring. So, but in terms of Montas, obviously, having shoulder surgery is going to likely be out for most of the year. And I've had a lot of folks asking me today, does this mean they should go after Trevor Bauer? Now, a couple of things here. It's definitely an option, but it's a risky one. We don't know how it's going to affect team chemistry. We don't know how well he can pitch now because he's been out of the game for like 2 years, and he's been pitching the YouTube videos to high school, college players. So we don't know if he's still got the ability to get major league players out. So, but do I think he physically can handle a number 5 spot? Yeah, but the question remains is, what's he going to bring to the table? Is his team going to be okay with it? Is the question, and that I think is a question that still needs to be answered, honestly. But what do you folks think? Profar still out. They're not going to get him unless they clear money, Aiden. They got to clear money to get Profar. Yeah, Alan. Exactly. Got to fix starting. Again, Trevor Bauer is an option, but I don't know how popular an option is going to be. I had a lot of people mention it today, earlier in one of the videos. So it's intriguing, but is it worth the risk? Is the question. The drama that he's going to potentially bring, the headaches that he's going to potentially bring. So that's my curiosity. Transferring, and now since this proposes, or at least brings the question, does now present a better time for them to move Gleyber Torres, and do they actually consider Gleyber Torres? And I've said this before, and I wonder what you folks think. I don't think it's a good idea to move Torres unless you're going to get an impact player, particularly a pitcher in return, not just some salary cap, blah blah blah. Get an impact player, and I think he's the right guy to trade for a pitcher. So you obviously we get the salary clearance as well, and apparently Pittsburgh doesn't want him as part of a Brian Reynolds trade. So if that ever happens, you don't even have to move him to Pittsburgh, according to them. So they could probably still do this, but it's going to be interesting now. And again, it's never a dull day in Yankee land. So what are they going to do? How are they going to address it? Now they still have Schmidt. They have Herman. They have Matt Crook. Some internal guys, yes, and the prospects that they traded over to Oakland would have come in handy, yeah. But honestly, guys, the way I see it is a pass in the past. Complaining about that trade is not going to fix the problem in the future. So at least that's the way I look at it. But I get everybody being frustrated at Cashman's trade, because it's not a good trade. It's a bad trade. But at this point, you can't change any of it. So, what do they do now is the question. And again, yeah, Gerald. I mean, I think people are panicking because over a fifth starter because what do you call it? Nestor's out on the shelf as well. So now you're talking like 4 and 5, or 3 and 5. So I get it. But yeah, I mean, and now Anthony, I get it too. Like, and again, if you're not a fan of moving Gleyber, I totally get it, because he's like he's a top 5 hitter on the team. But if, let's just say, they got off a pitch and cleared that payroll and brought in Brian Reynolds somehow, I'd be perfectly happy with that. I mean, what pitchers could they sign in free agency is the question. That are starters that are left. I don't know anybody who would be, who would fit well in that rotation. So I don't know, Booyah. I really don't know. Herman being number 0. Yeah, I mean, I heard this. Man, I heard Volpe was going to get him, one of them, blah blah blah. But I really have no opinion on it. And there's a lot of folks that are fired up about it. I could care less about the numbers. I care more about their fitting in with the team and producing. So it doesn't really matter, at least on me, at least in my opinion. So, but we do need the Gleyber offense. But if you can get it somewhere else and still add a pitcher, then, and again, in the Trevor Bauer situation is a risk. But it's, you only have to pay the league minimum for him too, because Dodgers are paying the guy $20 million to not play for them. So I don't know if it's going to be proposed. And I know a lot of people mentioned it, and I get it, but it's got to be. I think you need to discuss it with Cole and the rest of the team to see whether they're okay with it. Is the key, because I think chemistry is going to be an important thing this year. I mean, they brought in some guys that are good chemistry guys like Ordon and Tommy Kahnle, and fiery guys, and just good clubhouse dude. So the last thing you want to do is disrupt that new guys that are here. So I get it. I totally get it. But it's going to be interesting. It really is going to be interesting. But by the way, make sure you smash that like button, gang, if you don't mind. I want to try to get over 100 likes as quickly as we can. I appreciate you hitting the likes. Always helpful in the live stream. So, especially if you're enjoying the content. The Martians, no, it's nothing. They're just doing basic stuff. And tomorrow's the official day that pitchers and catchers report, all of them. And then Monday, the 20th, is the day that the whole team has to be there. So they're just going through the motions, throwing, taking batting practice. So nobody's doing anything yet, Aiden. Nobody. But, the footage looked good the other day. It was athletic. So that's cool. Yes, Florial played awful in winter ball, Gerald. He played absolutely dismal. So, and that's not an encouraging sign for him for spring training, because now you're going to go from Dominican ball, winter ball to Dominican to major league players. So, I'm not encouraged for him. They all trained, Aiden. They're all doing their thing, and they're all going to take the next couple of weeks to get game shape. I don't know, Booyah. They're going to sign or trade for a pitcher. I don't know. I don't know what pitcher they can get in the trade. Um, well, that's the other thing too, Ryan. Yeah, if anybody thought, that's why I said, like, if anybody thought Bauer was still good to get on Major League players, he'd be signed already. I couldn't agree more, Ryan. I couldn't agree more, dude. Could not agree more, dude. And again, yes, a risky move, absolutely, dude. But sometimes when these guys come in, they play well, just like Herman. People stop. Herman had a domestic abuse situation, and people saw it in person, and nobody's talking about it now. So, not that I condone any of that stuff because I don't, but like, and what do you call it? I mean, Bauer. I mean, wasn't criminally charged or anything, blah blah. But again, it's just too, it's a kind of a funky situation too. So no, Bauer's suspension is over. They ended it. They ended the whole D-Rod. They ended his whole suspension. So he is ready to play game 1. Yep. He initially got 324 games, and they cut it to like 140 or whatever it was. They cut it in half. And baseball did that, not in the courts or anything. The MLB did it. So just goes to show you, maybe they thought his punishment was way beyond harsh. But again, I don't know. I mean, I don't speak for them, but maybe they did. Otherwise, why would they cut his suspension in half? So we just don't know. I'm just going to get a bunch of speculations. I have no idea. All right, Fortran, do what you got to do, bro. You got to get rest, bro. Get rest. All 3 of my girls are sick, so I totally get the feeling, man. I totally know what you're saying, doing, feeling, bro. Get some tea, some water, some sleep, brother. But you're on as long as you want, man. On as long as you want. You're always welcome here. You know that. I mean, Herman's got a shot. Schmidt's got a shot. Hayden, and watch out for Matt Crook. He's a left-handed prospect. He's the only guy in the system that threw more than 100 innings last year that hasn't been traded. So, well, this is true too. Yeah, if they move, people want, if the numbers are important to folks. If you trade Torres, then it opens up 25 for Anthony Volpe. This is true too. Yeah, Cole and Rodon got some good chemistry. I mean, Luis Severino looked good too. So, and which is it's going to be good, man. And again, it reminds me of Cole and Rodon. It reminds me of when Cole was with Verlander in Houston. Verlander made Cole better. Cole made Verlander better. We've said that before too. I think the same thing's going to happen here. Rodon and Cole are going to make each other better. So I am excited to see that duo in game action. So I'm very excited about that. I hope he has I really do, Sean. I really hope he has a strong season. Oh, well, this is true too. I mean, obviously, and again, it's the same lineup that did get shut out in the postseason. I mean, we'll have a healthy season of Bader, healthy season of DJ, which will help. Mike King will be ready for opening day, according to the reports and according to him. So that's encouraging too. So we'll have. I mean, we have improved chemistry and better health. That's going to help them. And if they happen to trade for a left fielder, and that we're hearing reports that nothing but the fact, they're going to be doing something in left field. We just don't know what. It's a question. And the fact, and like. This isn't propaganda like the Ronald Acuna asking to be traded the other day, or the total BS of one of Mike Trout asking to be traded to the Yankees, which is complete baloney. This was really, you saw the footage of Brian Reynolds talking about this morning. So that's, that's important. Well, it might not only be Cole, it might be everybody else too, Cillian. That's what I mean. And it's not only about Cole. I think the other folks on the team might have a problem too. And that's the key. Tanaka, yeah, maybe. I mean, he might be the number 5 now. Well, Montgomery, nothing we can do. He's a free agent after 2023, and so maybe they'll try and get him back. Maybe they will. Matt Moore, yeah, I mean Matt Moore. Well, he's kind of a reliever now, but I wouldn't mind if they brought him in for the bullpen. Honestly, and that's the case. I don't know. Aside from Bauer, I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's anybody who can fit in. I mean, fit the 5 spot. Chris Bauer hasn't signed yet. Trevor Bauer has not signed yet. He's a free agent. Yeah, he's still a free agent, man. Yeah, well, that's the key thing. Yeah, if we didn't move Montgomery, we weren't going to get Harrison Bader. And again, I hope that they extend Harrison Bader. Otherwise, it would have been kind of a pointless trade, in my opinion. So I hope he's, if not the best, one of the best defensive center fielders in all of baseball. So if I'm them, I'm really, really hoping that they sign him to an extension. He's one guy they need to lock up. You know, yeah, Herman did own it up. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's done the work that he needs, so it doesn't. Then again, it doesn't excuse him. So, um, the worst thing for him is not only that he did it, but people saw it. So, and that's just, you know, want to walk on. Yeah, Walker. Yeah, he signed McCann in San Diego. And yeah, I mean, we'll see how good he does there. So, well, as of right now, they lost on the Montas trade. But again, there's nothing we can do about it right now. Nothing. So we got to figure out a solution. That's at least my opinion. Would we be interested in getting Montgomery back in a trade to the car? Maybe. I'd be intriguing. I'd be intrigued. I mean, so yeah, the new Jeter news was fantastic. Joining Fox Sports as a baseball analyst. So yeah, man. Feel better, bro. Feel better, man. Get some rest, brother. Get some rest, dude. Pablo Lopez, no, he was traded to the Twins a couple weeks ago, Sunil. Pablo Lopez was traded for Luis Arias, their outfielder who won the batting title 2 years ago. Yep. So he's with the Twins now, and Arias is over there with the Marlins. So, yeah. Alcantara is not available. Sandy Alcantara is not available. And they've made that clear. They made that clear. He's not available. The Marlins. If we get Reynolds, do we swap playing time with Reynolds? No. Reynolds is the starter. If we get Reynolds, he's the starter. Hands down. Cabrera will be the utility guy. You're not going to trade for Reynolds to not start him. They give up a bunch. There's no way in the world they wouldn't start Reynolds. Exactly too, Ryan. Yeah, they passed up on all the elite shortstops in the past 2 years just to keep Peraza and Volpe. And keep in mind too, people like why not Luis Castillo? Well, right now we would not be talking about Volpe, Peraza, or Jason Dominguez because the Mariners wanted all three for Luis Castillo. All three. We wouldn't have any of them right now. So that's another reason why I didn't trade for Castillo. So, and I I can't blame him for that. Wink, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to sign him. Seriously, I think he just has his leftover stuff and he's just working out. Maybe he's trying to make a statement, but there's no point to bring him back over here. I just don't see it. You got Rorfit, you got Higashioka, and again, neither one of those guys neither one of those guys are defensive liabilities. Sanchez is. So, yeah, King can be ready for opening day. It sounds like he will be, which is fantastic. And I do think Montas is probably done as a Yankees. So, yeah, it was a desperate move. I mean, one of the reasons why that people tend to forget this is, and you're not wrong. He is a desperate move. Right at the last minute, 5 minutes before the deadline, they had a trade lined up for Pablo Lopez with Gleyber Torres, and they asked for Oswald Peraza like 5 minutes before the deadline. So Cashman pulled out, and he made a last-minute move in desperation here for Montas. He got a reliever too, and so that was part of the reason why he pivoted the way he did, because he got essentially screwed like 5 minutes before the deadline. So that's how it works sometimes. They try to pry more out of him than he wanted to give up, and and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hayden, I think they're going to get a fifth starter, one way or another. They'll use a fifth starter, whether it's in house or trade for agency. I do think they get him. They'll Rashid DeGrom news. I haven't heard anything about Jacob DeGrom other than he signed with the Texas Rangers. I haven't heard anything there. The young stars actually start. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong here either, Tony. Yeah, let some of these guys start and say, yeah, I mean, it would be nice. Would be nice. Waldichuk and Wisniewski. Yeah, Wisniewski got traded to the Cubs. But keep in mind, they were Yankees top starters. None of them were first round picks. None of them. So that goes to show how weak the prospect pool in the Yankees farm is. That's an area where they need to enhance, which I think is one reason they got Sabian and Mania here now. Honestly, I do. I really do. They're going to help him draft better, develop better, and all this stuff because he's been pretty, what do you call it, suspect in that regard. DeGrom is hurt already? Oh, my God. What happened to him now, D-Rod? Dude. They have to worry about IKF domestic violence because his wife would kick his ass. Dude. You're a legend, man. Beck, you're a fucking legend, dude. Yankees let Machado go for the first time. They're on a radar. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see what they do in 2024. It really, really is. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. What if they go after him? And yeah, this kid Andres Chaparro too, who's a highly rated prospect, and again with power, but he can also back up first base. So if they give him a shot, then he might be, an option there to replace Josh Donaldson, who I do not think will be back. Otherwise, if they don't give him a shot, then maybe they're serious about going after Machado for third base. But Machado's also 31. Chaparro's like 22. So the age will make a difference as well. Because, I mean, you have to give him probably a $300 million deal no matter what. So, but we'll see. That's going to be an interesting one, too, third base for the Yankees. Then, yeah, the Knicks are on freaking fire, honestly. Wow, just think about that. The only starter I can think of is JT Brubaker from the Pirates to add to Brian Reynolds. I mean, I would love David Bednar, a reliever instead, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm really curious, but JT Brubaker maybe. But it would be a massive haul. A massive haul. It's your boy. What's up, baby? Yeah, I mean, yeah. They could have used some of those guys in the Reynolds trade. Yep. But, yeah. And you're right. It's one of the quarterback stuff. Exactly, dude. But nothing they can do by now. They got to figure out how to get this guy if they want to get him. So we'll see if it happens. Laundry day for Sanchez, maybe. Medical advisors. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Hey, Joe, that's a good question. I would agree. I think, they do their due diligence, the Yankees. I'll give them that. And they must have told him he'll be fine. But they were clearly wrong. Unfortunately, they were clearly wrong. Yeah, Peraza. I think Peraza will be the starting shortstop, Sean. I really do. Cabrera, I think he'll be perfect as a super utility guy, honestly. Play the infield and the outfield. I really, really do. So, but they're good-looking players. They are. I'm excited about both of them. Money loves playing. Oh, what do we got? Bob, thank you so much, man, for the donor, man. I appreciate the super chat, brother. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, my God. DeGrom's already hurt. Unbelievable. Left side. Left side tightness, huh? Okay. Yeah, hopefully he has a better year this year, Bob. It's just true, Bob. 1-3 in trades. He's got to do a better year. Got to do better in trading. He's not good at trading for pitchers. He's good and better in signing them. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Sanchez is coming back. They have nowhere to put him. Nowhere to put him. Where are they going to play him? Trading money for Bader and something is about to get an alert that we got Rodon. That I think. Yeah, exactly, Ryan. Yeah. I'm glad they got Rodon, though. I'm glad they got Rodon, baby. Davey, I think he's out as a starting pitcher. They kind of been converting him, Tyler, to the bullpen, and his velocity's been up. His pitch selection's been up. He's out of options, too, though. Him and Esteban Flores are out of minor league options, so they either have to come up here and make the team. They're going to have to outperform players. Otherwise, they're likely to get DFA'd or released or traded. So I can't see any other way, honestly. War Room's in the house. What's up, my man? It was a great signing. I'm afraid about how many Yankees pitchers have injured. Yeah, I mean, you're right. A lot of interest concerns. That's why we need more. We need better pitching depth. So, and guys have mentioned Yankees War Room. I don't know if you heard, but there's been people on my message boards today saying the Yankees should go get Trevor Bauer. And to me, I think it's a risky proposition. But let me know what you think, War Room. Let me know what you think, dude. Beater. I don't think Clayton Beater has started. I think he's been a reliever. I could be wrong, but I think he's only been a reliever. Unbelievable. Huh. Well, I'm not surprised that DeGrom is already. They gave him a lot of money too, man. A lot of money. So, well, I hope not, Isai. I hope they don't start him in a playoff game when he comes back. He's gonna have to earn it. Yeah, Machado. Yeah, I mean they could have probably gotten Machado and Bryce Harper if they were willing to go balls to the wall. You know, see young pitching prospect in spring training making it, but maybe Wink the man. I just don't know who. I mean, Matt Crook is the guy that keeps standing out to me. He's a lefty, and he's the only guy I said earlier that he's thrown over 100 innings in the system that hasn't been traded. So he to me is the most logical option. But you got Luis Hill coming back, but I don't think he's gonna be ready in spring training anyway. So you have some other guys too. Hill could be ready mid-season, maybe right around there. So those are the two main guys I think that have a shot at some point of getting to the rotation this year. Crook, I would. He's intriguing one. He's an intriguing one. He's got good makeup. You know. Yeah. Yeah, Rashid. They better put. Yeah. They better get on the. He's gonna need like 15 dudes to work around. He's gonna need an entourage of people to keep him healthy. Oh, careful. Yeah. Well, yeah, Sunil, exactly. I think careful method. Yeah. Youth. Yeah. They need it. They need some young players to infuse with veteran players and some high price free agents. And exactly. Honestly, they need a balance of everything. But they have to know how to give even their older players some regular rest. Rest Judge one day a week, rest Stanton one day a week, Rizzo one day a week. Just have, and this is one of, the better teams generally have a good roster and good backups. So the Yankees need to get to the point where their backups can play well, even if they're not playing full time, if that makes sense. It's been a while since they've had that. And I think they'll be better when they do get that. So, which is why, like, you get a Brian Reynolds, then all of a sudden, Oswaldo Cabrera is considered a backup, even though he's going to play a lot of games. That's a hell of a guy to have there. So, I would be all over that. Cashman had 2 years ago. Robbie Ray and Rodon. Yeah, but Robbie Ray, I think, was very expensive, so I'm not surprised. Rodon and Mo, they got him now, so I think the Montas trade was a kind of a desperate move after they had to pull themselves out of the Lopez trade at the last minute. They wanted to get somebody, but they just unfortunately got the wrong guy. It happens, unfortunately. So 40-man Yankees will have to keep him in AAA to start season if he's. Yeah, I mean, I think they will keep him. Yeah, I think Warren. Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think they're going to bring him up until he's ready. I don't think it would be wise to rush him. I could see him up in mid-season or something like that. I think he needs a little bit more time in AAA, iron some things out, keep developing, and I think he'll be up at some point. Now, if they happen to trade Torres, that might speed it up, but there's no need to rush him even then because they'd have DJ who could play for second base. So they have guys who can handle this until he's ready. And he's their number one prospect, like a top 5 in all baseball. So last thing you want to do is mess that up. So let the kid keep developing. It really, really, to me, it's very, very important. So I don't know what do you folks think? What do you folks think? Well, this is the thing. Like, it's not only I'm not only concerned that Cole doesn't like Bauer. I'm concerned that the rest of the team might not, or a bunch of guys on the team might not like Bauer. So, and that's could be a problem. That's the last thing you want. You brought in guys like I said earlier, like Rodon and Tommy Kahnle. They're good chemistry guys. Judge, bringing back Rizzo, all good chemistry guys. Last thing you want to do is disrupt it by somebody who could be a cancer to the team. So I don't think they want to do that. But again, it's going to be interesting to see. I think somebody will wind up signing Bauer. I just don't know who. So Steve Howe, he's dead, unfortunately. But yeah, I remember him. He was trouble. He passed away several years ago. Yeah, Chaparro, I mean, he's a good-looking player. So, I mean, I haven't heard of the Cole Bauer beef being over, but I think it's got to be more than that regardless. I think that type of guy they need to make sure that the whole team is okay with it, not only one player. You know, and if Bauer can perform to a number 5 pitcher performance, then yeah. Profar, no news yet. He wanted 1 year, I think, between 10 and 15 million, and nobody signed him yet. So he's gonna have to lower that price tag. I wouldn't say screw. Would you say the same thing about Judge? What if Judge didn't want? Would you say screw Judge? It's about winning. Get Bauer. Just out of curiosity. I wouldn't say screw Cole. I wouldn't screw the ace to bring in a guy who's we don't could be a nightmare. That's the key, and it's a risk. It's a risk. It could be worthwhile. It could be not. So that's the key. That's again, it's a risk that they would be taking one way or the other. So Glasnow is available. I don't know. I mean, they definitely don't sign their guys long term, Sunil. So, would I be surprised? I just don't think they're going to trade him to a division rival. That's the key. So, this is true too. Yeah, you can get Ryan. Yeah, this is a good point, Ryan. He'll go on a 60-day out, so he could put the Volpe without on the 40 man without the Fangin player. That's a good point. It's a good part. Back. It's a good point, man. It's true. If I don't think he's going to be a starting shortstop, I don't think he's going to beat out Oswald Peraza. I think Peraza's got it locked. As long as he starts well and continues to produce, I think he's got shortstop locked. They'd be nuts to not have him starting at shortstop if he's playing well. No, I mean, if Bauer came in and Cole started pitching better, then okay. That's my worry. My worry is the chemistry thing. So that they have to make sure that thing is okay. But they haven't signed the guy yet, so we don't know. We don't know. Probably, so yeah, Bauer to the Yankees, probably a Judge Cole decision. Yeah, they're like the 2 de facto captains, even though Judge was announced the captain by Hal. But you're right. You're right. So I would agree with that. If Cook makes the 40 man with Schmidt and Armando, rotation was free of them over. I mean, maybe. I mean, Crook to me has the edge over those guys, but Schmidt's shown enough. Herman's shown enough too. So it should be a competition between the 3 of them. Maybe one of them will win that 5th position outright in spring training if they don't sign anybody. So that could be the other thing too. But on paper, Hayden, yeah, I would say on paper they'd be the best rotation in baseball. But it's on paper is one thing, performance is another. So, but I agree with you, Hayden. Kyrie Irving. Oh God, no. No, thank you to no, thank you to Kyrie Irving. No, thank you to Kevin Durant. None of those guys. I knew that wasn't going to work in Brooklyn. That was brutal. Brutal. Sunil and if Alpha Bauer AAA deal for a year or 2 and see how he performs and work from there. Yeah, but I think that's what they would probably do, T Drake, to let him kind of build up his strength in his innings and all that stuff, and then bump him up when he's ready. But it's probably how they would do it if they did it. Got to be smart about that. Even though he's won a Cy Young a couple years ago, he still hasn't been in game action in like 2 years. That matters, even though he's young. Any traction they could trade Trevino? No, 0. Haven't heard anything. I heard that it's an idea proposed by somebody, but there's no traction to it. It could happen, though. It could happen. Talent. Well, exactly, Sean. It's not enough to win. Exactly. So I think Rodon and Trevino will have good chemistry. I do. Is he married to like a jiu-jitsu black belt or something or what? Sweeney seems like Trey Bay at this point. Yeah, a couple of them. I mean, that's if Ryan. It's if they don't shift Spencer Jones to first or that other guy, Austin Wells, shift him to first. But I mean, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, that home run hitter is going to be he's going to be an intriguing option at that point. He's got 2 more years. He'll be 25. So I'd be curious to see what they do. I really, really do. Um, well, exactly, Baltimore. I would agree, man. Don't trade for pitchers from the A's. Trade with pitchers from the team, some other team, not the A's. So, and Wordfed is healthy. He hadn't been able to stay healthy last year. And he'll be reporting tomorrow with the rest of the guys. So, I mean, I think a Wordfed Trevino duo will be a better idea because they're both master pitch framers, and he's got a little bit pop, and he bats from the left-handed side. But I can't knock Higashioka. He's been a pretty credible backup, so I'm happy with what he's done. So I'm fine to keep either one of them with Trevino. So I think they have their bigger problem is left field. No. Yeah. Well, a lot of folks want Cashman gone. These new rules are going to cause. In the shift, the base size, a couple different things. Even the balk rule with pitchers is going to cost them. I think it's going to lead pitchers to pitch more and not be so obsessed with the runner at first. So there's a couple things, and the pitch clock, catch clock, and all this type of stuff. So there's going to be adjustments for folks. And again, if they happen to get robot umps here after the season, because they're doing it in every minor league game now, this year in every minor league stadium, then that would kind of, I think, increase offense too, because then players then would be able to get used to the strike zone and know exactly where it is. They won't get any more Angel Fernandez calling strikes on guys like Judge at his feet or guys like Stanton at his ankles, like these ridiculous low strikes. They won't be having to deal with that anymore. So I think that would probably help. But I don't like taking the human effect out of the game either. I can't see a coach arguing with a friggin' ump. I mean, with a robot ump. I just can't see it. That's no fun, Small ball. Yeah, the guys that we have, like, Volpe and some of these other guys, a lot of small ball and a lot of stolen bases, a lot of contact. So that's, I'm excited about that. Because I do think we'll get more contact hitting one way or the other. But it's one reason I'm holding out hope that they trade for Brian Reynolds, because he would be the perfect table setter at the top of the lineup. Perfect table setter. Now, pitcher from Japan is not available until after 2023, Aiden. So, but he's an intriguing one too. Young, throws hard, he got a big arm, but you have to wait until they post him. He's not going to be posted until after this season, according to them. So, yeah, Pirates pitchers would be exactly. War room. Trade for Pirates pitchers instead of A's pitchers. A's pitchers have been a disaster for the Yankees. Whether it be Sonny Gray or Montas, it's been rough. So, Billy Branch is in the house. What's up, my man? With the Ghost Runner, you'd sign Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore to be on. Oh, man. So, Neil, what are your 3 favorite Patrick Swayze movies? Offense mean more money. Yeah, well, you're not lying about that. You're not wrong about that, T. Drake. You're absolutely right, man. Yeah, Z Corp. I don't know about that. I heard the same baloney from people last year. We don't sign Carlos Correa. We're going to be a 4th place or 5th place team. I don't buy it. But we'll wait and see, Z Corp. We will wait and see. We will. Anything can happen. Anything can happen, dude. Yamamoto, the first baseman, and he's not going to be available for 2 more seasons. He's not going to get posted until after 24. He'll be 25 years old. Yeah, well, the Ghost Runner is not. It's only for regular season games, Billy. It's not going to be for postseason, but yeah, they made it. MLB voted the other day to make it permanent in regular season games. But they were supposed to do away with it. It was supposed to be part of the new CBA, and then something happened. And then it's not only him, Billy. It's the whole Major League Baseball. So, they kept it in place. I have something coming, D-Rod. I have a custom backdrop coming. So I'm just getting some work done on my basement, and I haven't put it up yet. So, but you'll see. It's D-Rod. It's a drone flying over the old Yankee Stadium, and you'll see like the backdrop's going to be the drone flying over. It's dope. I had it out a while back, and I brought but I had to wrap it up and put it in the basement because I'm getting an addition put on my house. So It'll be up shortly. Believe me, I don't want this green thing. I feel like I'm Slimer from Ghostbusters. So, yeah, the bases are bigger, man. Bases are bigger. So, yep. I mean, it'll definitely help the base runners, the aggressive base runners, and stolen bases, or just extending hits from from first to third, from second to home. So, I think these are skill sets that I hope these teams take advantage of, if analytics allows them to do it. So, not just rely for a home run. So, you want to see a John Boy breakdown video of Boone arguing with a robot, and the robot grabs him by the neck like, Brett, I am your father. Oh, shoot. Who got higher expectations from their scenes? I don't know. It's a good, I think, Senga from the Mets or Sheeta from the Red Sox. I'm probably going to say it's from the Red Sox. I think they're going to pat him pretty high. Senga's going to be the number 5 for the Mets. So, but either way, I think they're both going to have reasonably high expectations from their teams. Hey, Hilal's in the house. Backstage baseball. Where you been, dude? Hope you're doing well, man. The Jays and the Orioles are better than us. Just all back around. I don't know, Elvis. I mean, I don't know. They're good, but I don't know about better just yet. It's too early to predict. Honestly, it's too early to predict. But they could be. That's the thing. You never really know. You never really know. Yeah. Well, that's Ken didn't get along with anybody. None of the Bonds. So, but this is a good point. Yeah. And I'm not exactly sure what Bauer did, but apparently somebody said that their beef is over too. So again, that would be nice. Excuse me. That would be nice. New shift rule. Do I think if someone grounds into a double play, would you burn with both roots safe on a legal shift? I think that's a good question. Maybe if they illegally shifted on somebody and they call, yeah, maybe. I mean, why not, right? If the runner was on first and there was an illegal shift, yeah, you might have runners on first and second. But that's a good question, man. I'm gonna look into that, Wink, man. That's a good question. That's a good question, dude. I'll have an answer for you, Wink. Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're gonna need, if they have a robot, Carapozzi and Hernandez, then you're gonna have to get Arnold in there and handle the business. Dirty Dancing, huh? Sean, me, Point Break, Roadhouse, and Dirty Dancing. So those are my 3 favorite Swayzes. Yeah. Yes, indeed. We haven't recorded yet our turn 2 yet, D-Rod. We're working on it. We are working on it. We're working on some stuff. D-Rod, Roadhouse is a classic, man. Classic. Yeah. Yeah, Gerald. Love it. Yeah, Point Break would count. I mean, that's just a classic movie. Classic movie. Patrick Swayze, Patrick Duffy. Duffy, baby. Wow. Mark, yeah, I mean, I don't think Abreu is going to be. They've been grooming. He's been a reliever, so I don't think he's going to be the number 5. I mean, if anybody that's up now on the roster gets a shot, it's probably going to be Herman or Schmidt. And I mentioned Matt Crook earlier. I would still keep him. I think he's got a really good shot at potentially beating those guys out for a 5th spot. I do. But we'll see what happens. Spring training is going to be an interesting competition. So pitchers and catchers all officially report tomorrow. So everybody in the house is going to be there. And then the whole entire team will be there the following Monday, the 20th. Everybody's expected to be reported by then. So, yeah. Eagles, yeah. Yep. It's crazy too, Sunil, is Eagles O-line. Yeah, no doubt, T-Drake. The Yankees, I mean, if you look at the schedule, they play the Blue Jays less. They play the Orioles and the Red Sox and the Rays less this year. It's a more spread out schedule. And that applies to all the other teams. They're going to be getting more National League games and stuff like that. So they don't have to play the Red Sox like 20 times or the Blue Jays like 16 times. So it's going to be a little bit different this year. So I'm really curious to see how that works. But not having to play them as often would probably be a net positive for the Yankees because they tend to get beat up by the Jays and the Red Sox. So, and sometimes the Rays too. But so that I think I'm really curious to see what the schedule does for them this year. Joe, Roadhouse is a classic, man. Classic, dude. Dude, you're a legend, man. Oh god, troublemaker, man. You're a troublemaker, dude. What did I think of the Montas trade at the time? I mean, I like this potential, but again, I was more excited about the E Frost move. I liked that. I was more excited about the Bader move. I liked that. So at the time, I could have been okay. It was a decent trade, but um, I wasn't overly excited. I'll put it that way. But it's disappointing that it turned out the way that it did, Davey. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it was an interesting. People were more outraged at the Bader trade. They were pissed that they traded Montgomery for Bader. Look at folks now. A lot of folks are couldn't be happier with Bader here. So, and Bader's fantastic here. He really is. So, Jeets is in the house. What's good, baby? So, a lot of folks have said this too in the comments today and in this video and in other videos, Jeets in the live stream. If we're with Montas out, pivot to Bauer to be the number 5. And again, so a couple, like they would only have to pay them the league minimum because the Dodgers are paying his full salary for 2023. But again, there's risks involved, chemistry risks, and a couple other things. So we just don't know whether he can get dudes out at the major league level again. Now, again, if at worst, that's the worst season, shows to be available and pitches like a number 3, but as a number 5, I'd be excited. I'd be excited, but do they get him is the question. Why hasn't he been signed yet is the other question. So that's what I'm more curious about. Red Dawn. Yeah, I mean, it's a decent movie, Mark. Yeah, Breu, yes, he's also out of minor league options. Him, Florial, and Davey Garcia, they're out of minor league options, so they could be booted. Swayze's a legend, David. He's a legend, Swayze. John and Sue, as far as I know, yes. John, Sue, Meredith, I think they're all back. Yes. Where the wives are like, yeah, exactly, Sean. Yeah, I mean, he's baby back bitch who can hit though, man. He can hit. He can hit seriously, but the Yankees just got to keep beating the Blue Jays. Just keep beating the Blue Jays, man. Rob, I would be shocked if they can get Brian Reynolds without giving up Jason Dominguez. I think it's going to cost Dominguez to get Reynolds, and then a couple other guys. I do. That's my gut, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, baby. All you got to do is jump, D-Rod. Legend. Yeah, so I was mentioning him earlier, Matt Crook. He could, outperform like Schmidt and Herman and some of these guys. So he could be. Get his innings up a little bit more. And again, he's the only guy that's in the farm that hasn't been traded that's thrown more than 100 innings recently, and he did that last year. That matters too if you want him to be a starter. He's got to have some innings in his belt. MLB minimum. Well, exactly, Joel. I mean, yes, it'd be a league minimum. So it's just is the risk going to be worth it? Is the question. That's the question, right? That's the $1 million question. So I'm really curious to see what they do, in the next couple of weeks. Whether they make a move, whether they bring him back, whether they bring it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really. And do the Yankees have enough good chemistry guys, good leaders to handle a Bauer being here? I do think they do, but again, it's going to be an interesting. And again, now he fits their need to stay on the cheap side and not go over the threshold for the Cohen number. But will they? I don't know. Should they? I don't know, honestly. Now I'm like right down the middle on Bauer. I see the pros and the cons. That's a tough one. But yeah, Bader was injured. Yeah, exactly. Morum. Frost out for the season. Trevino's only played at the line. Yep. And Frost is not a free agent until 2028. So even after Tommy John, the Yankees are still going to have 4 seasons of Frost, which will come in handy. All pre-arb and arb. So that is a big piece in the future. I hope War Room that they extend Bader. I really, really do. Unless they have serious are dedicated to having Jason Dominguez at some point, but I don't see Dominguez playing center. I see him being a corner guy. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. Yeah, I mean, if you can get him for Dominguez, Everson Pereira, and Trey Sweeney, that's a good trade. I think it'd be a good. You'd probably have to give somebody else, Brian, but probably right around that value. Yeah, and that's pretty big. That's their number 3 and number 5 prospects, and Sweeney's like number 7. So like 3, 5, and 7. That's a pretty big return for a Brian Reynolds, and that's an aggressive return, but it would be a worthwhile return because I can't see Sweeney. Where's Sweeney going to crack the roster? We have no idea. Pereira, no idea. So like Dominguez, and I see him more as a corner guy, but then where's he going to go? If Reynolds is here and left, where's he going to go? And like, you can move Reynolds to center, but what the hell's the point of having Bader here? I'd rather have Bader in center and Reynolds in left, and it would have 2 speedy guys in this roster, which I think would be a better way to have the lineup, or just have the team looking. So, in my opinion, I want as many guys to cause havoc in the base path as possible. Top 5 Liam Neeson movies. Well, taking 1, 2, and 3. And, there's one where he's in. I forgot what it's called. He's out fighting some wild animals or something like that. That was pretty good. And there's one called Honest Thief. That was a good one too. I like that. Spring training is here tomorrow. Pitchers and catchers officially report tomorrow, Aiden and War Room. Tomorrow, baby. I love it. But I also love, seeing footage of guys coming a couple days early, which is fantastic too. I heard somebody put this up a little bit ago, Billy. I didn't know that. Being shut down for a couple days. It was arm tightness. Somebody said it was his left side, so I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to deal with a lot of injuries with Jacob deGrom, and they paid that man a lot of money, $37 million a year for 5 years. Phooey. That is big money. So, I mean, honestly, Davey, if I'm Pitt, I would want Herman. I would add Herman to a Brian Reynolds trade. I would, Davey. I mean, I don't see why the Yankees would not do that. And it would be kind of crazy if they traded for Reynolds and signed Bauer. It'd be kind of nuts, but we just don't know. Does Nestor come back from? I'm 50-50 right now. He's got a grade 2 sprain, so it's anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks recovery time. So, and again, you got to be smart with the hamstrings. You got to be smart with it. So we'll see. Honestly, we'll see what happens. And that's his lead leg too. He's pitching from his lefty, so it's his right hamstring. So, that's going to turn up and propel him forward. So, and during his delivery, the latter part of his delivery. So they're going to need him to be 100%. So he might not be ready for opening day. He might not. But some of these guys aren't really rocking and rolling until May or June anyway. Some of them still need to build up their innings because a lot of them don't pitch a lot of innings in spring training. So, I'm 50-50 on whether Nestor comes back on opening day. I don't care if he does or not. I just want him to be healthy when he comes back and not have any more setbacks. So focus on him getting healthy because we need Nestor Cortes in this rotation. We absolutely need him. So, and by the way, smash that like button, everybody, if you don't mind. Pirates can get a solid deal from Dodgers in terms of starting. They probably could. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the Dodgers, the Mariners, Yankees, and maybe the Braves are probably the 4 lead teams for Brian Reynolds, but we'll see. Britain news, yeah, he did a workout for teams today, a pitching workout. So, but like 6 or 8 teams are watching him. So good. Yeah, I mean, he'll be a good, decent addition for a team, depth piece. So, well, those leg kick shenanigans are kind of. I worry about some of those funky moves, Sunil. I really, really do. I really do. I don't know if I'm going to Tampa this year. I went a couple years ago, Rob. I'm putting an addition on my house, and I'm taking part of it. So ripping stuff down and building stuff up. So I need to be here as long as I possibly can. So I think I'm going to miss spring training, but obviously I'll be doing all the coverage and footage on the games here and everything else. So I won't miss anything on here. But I really wish I was down there. I really, really do. So yeah, Dwayne. I mean, if the Yankees have the personnel to adapt to these new rule changes and stuff like that, I think they're in a pretty good spot. They really, really do. I mean, they are. So, and Cole Rodon and Sevy's a nasty 1-2-3. Really have a nasty 1-2-3. You Elvis, the kids are good, man. The kids are good. Thank God. I appreciate you asking, man. They're good. I mean, they're a little under the weather right now, but it happens. They're always sick at school. So, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, but they're good, man. They are good. Good stream. I appreciate you, Warren. Thank you, man. Yeah, let's do a collab, War Room. It sounds good, buddy. Scans, I'd be happy to do it, man. Happy to do it. But and you all were saying again, thank you again, asking for the kids, man. I'll wrap it up in a few minutes too. We're going on an hour, so yeah. With CC being all jacked and musky, you think he'd? No, he's not going to return. So now he's made that clear. He's not going to return. He was better when he was like almost 300 pounds. But I mean, he looks really good. CC looks really good. So when Nestor comes back, he's a solid. Yeah, he is. He is. The shift going, Brian McCann may come out. Maybe, Billy. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be, honestly, the core four guys win once Nestor comes back, and then whoever they get at 5 is that one's up in the air still. So we know that Nestor is going to come back, and he will. The 5 is the key. 5 is the key, Yeah, 6'7" Al Roker. Is Roker that jacked like that? My God. So CC is jacked. So yeah, Nolan Ryan was a regular 100-mile-an-hour guy. 100-mile-an-hour guy. So, by the way, gang, I know folks have been asking for a while about merch. I'm close to having merch done. So we're going to start with a couple different products. So if anybody's interested in merch, it's coming. It's coming real soon, sooner than later. So finally, and I need to get approval on stuff. I need to get my designer ready to go and stuff like that. So, but we are going to have some stuff. It'll be hats, T-shirts, things like that. Some other things in the near future too, mugs or whatever, skull caps. So it's going to be dope. And wait till you see if you've seen the logo to the channel now, it's going to be similar like that. You have a train pulling into Yankee Stadium, the 161 River Ave logo. It is tight. It is tight. So, so be on the lookout because it's coming shortly. Beta for MVP would be phenomenal. Honestly, phenomenal. Ortega, Willie Calhoun. Yeah, they have a shot, Aiden. I think, they both have a shot for left field. They could be. If they don't make a trade, then that's why these guys are brought in. Because if they don't make a trade for a guy like Brian Reynolds or something like that, then these guys will get a legitimate shot. So ticket giveaways, I mean, that could be part of, I'm thinking of something, guys. I'm actually working, speaking of ticket giveaways, I mean, so just so you know. So ticket giveaways, see this right here? I'm going to put this up. Partner with a company called Identity IQ. This is for you go online and make your purchases and blah, whether it be tickets or whatnot. Our personal information is out all everywhere. So people nowadays, are savvy, sophisticated. They're devious too. So they're looking to hack into people, steal your identity and blah, blah, blah. So I partnered with this company. I wanted to partner with somebody who I thought was going to do something meaningful. So if any of you are worried about getting your identity stolen or emails hacked, use this service. Okay. You look at it, decide you can speak to a live person and whatnot. If you have the family or not, it'll help you. And if you want to just peace of mind knowing that you and your family are protected, use Identity IQ. That's all I'll say about that. But it's definitely worth your time. So check it out. You have questions, there's people that can answer them for you. But we want to, there's nothing tough. I had my identity stolen about a decade ago. It sucked having to get it back, the name back. And I've been hacked recently. It's not fun. So that'll give you peace of mind. So I just want to say that. But especially like because if you're gonna get merch, you buy a credit card or like that, and you want to make sure that you're protected when you go online. So, Acuna trade, that was BS. James Beal, it was BS. Yeah, unless this is the thing too. Like unless you hear it from the player, or unless you have a corroborating source like Jeff Passan or several sources to corroborate this, don't believe it. Don't believe it. Honestly, don't believe it. So, and Rob, dude, if I sold enough merch to pay for the remodel, then I'll be doing a ticket giveaway. That's for sure. Yeah, Sean, this is similar to LifeLock. It might have some features that LifeLock does not have, and vice versa, but this is similar. So, and I think it might be a little bit less expensive too. But I would definitely take a look at it. But yeah, LifeLock is worth it. And my family's got LifeLock, so my in-laws, and they're happy with it. I wouldn't say that he's kumbaya or that he's all good right now, but we know that he was unhappy with all his teammates getting all these big extensions and then being let. But it was his choice, right, to sign that $100 million deal when he did. Like, and they bought out all of his pre-arb and arbs. Like he said, when he was at 21 when he signed it. So it's really hard to complain about $100 million deal. But now the money's being given away, and he's, I think, better than all of them. So I can understand his logic, but it's a tough thing to do. I hate when football players do it. You got 4 years left on your contract, and now you're going to hold out because you want more. I hate when they do that. It's like nobody honors their contract nowadays, but it is what it is. That's just a sport, man. I think they're going to go, young or younger, Dwayne. Yeah, I would agree. Yep, he had stomach bypass. Yep. Yeah, and he had some health issues recently too, Al Roker, but it's good to see him hopefully on the trail to recovery. So if John Heyman says you could take it to bank, it was run by Bernie Madoff. Madoff ripped off the Wilpons who owned the Mets, man. He took him to the cleaners. Acuna can play left field in any outfield position, but it won't be here, Aiden. It won't be in New York. But yeah, he can definitely play left field. He's that good. He's a star player. He's definitely worth more right now than $100 million that he signed like a bunch of years ago. But that contract, he still has 6 years of control left, 2 of which are options. So, he wouldn't be a free agent again until when he was 30, in which case he could still make a $300 million contract then. So, you better go young. Everyone around people. That's the thing too, Elvis. Yes, and once Volpe gets up, he had another young guy, and Trevino's like 26, which is good. But yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I don't. I would agree with you. I think he regrets paying Ezekiel. Oh yeah. I'm not a Cowboy fan either, but yeah. Yes, he did have blood clots out. This is true. Carpenter would actually get him for. Yeah, I mean, it depends on who it is, T. Drake, but yeah, it would be nice. Luzardo, is he available, Tanya Harris? Is Luzardo available is the question? I don't know. More likely to get Bauer than Acuna. Neither will happen, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get one or the other, I mean, you get the cheaper one. Bauer's going to cost the league minimum. Acuna is going to cost you more than Reynolds would, and probably won't do it unless you give him an extension or enhance his contract in some way. So, but yeah, if he stays healthy, Acuna, he'll make crazy bank. When he's a free agent at 30, he'll make ridiculous bank. No doubt about it. Jerry Jones regrets paying that. Yeah, probably. I would agree. So, yeah, I mean, but they had a good year this year too. But they got beat, man. They got beat. I have to admit, I don't. I like when they don't win the Super Bowl. So, and I'm a Jets fan. My Jets suck, but even though they had 7 wins this past year, first time in a long time. So I'll take that. First basis point in his career. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, maybe. I mean, Manny's talked about opting out, but again, if honestly, if the Padres say we're going to tack on another 5 years at whatever, and it turns out to another 10-year deal, yeah, I mean, I could see him staying there. Yeah, because they do have the money. You're right about that, Elvis. They do have the money to pay him. But I mean, I don't know. He's an American League guy, so would I be surprised if he came to the Yankees? No, but would I be surprised if he stayed in San Diego? No. You're concerned that Gary Sanchez? I mean, Dwayne, he'll get signed somewhere probably because he's got some ability. So, but I don't think he's going to be with the Yankees. Oh, I like the Batman Begins movie with Liam Neeson. I forgot about that. I loved it when he was training Christian Bale. That movie, he was good in that. Really, really good, Chris. Oh yeah, The Gray. That's the movie I was talking about. I hate on the Cowboys. You guys all around telling her, Herm Edwards fan. I just like to break because I have family members who are Cowboys fans. So Neil, so I break their balls all the time. All the time. And they break my balls all the time being a Jets fan. So, but I'll say this: we're only like 30 guys away from being good. So don't sleep on my Jets. All right. I've always been a Jets fan, Davey. Always been a Jets fan. I don't know if they're going to give up on Zach Wilson just yet, Davey. I think they're going to try to sign a good veteran for him to develop under because that never happened. They threw him right to the Wolves. He was expected to be the starter immediately, and he didn't have anybody who could just sit back and watch on a clipboard and stuff like that and learn from. So I'm not personally. I don't think they should trade for Aaron Rodgers. I think it's going to cost too much, one way or the other. But it sounds like they're not connected to Ryan Tannehill, David Carr. So yes, obviously Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Famer, but I wouldn't be giving up $40 million a year and giving up like multiple first rounders and all that stuff. I wouldn't do that. But that's just me. What I'm thinking about Ringers going to the Jets if it happens. Ringers? You mean Rodgers, Elvis? Yeah, I'm not. I don't know if it happens. If it happens, it happens. But he's not my first choice. He's not my first choice. So Carr is going to be a free agent. They can get him for nothing. So just cash. So he's probably the most likely guy. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I mean, he's crazy too, Aaron Rodgers. He was crazy. So he starts to throw in these ridiculous political conspiracy theories and all this stuff. I don't want that anywhere near New York. No, it's insanity. I think it's going to be more damaging than anybody else. Like, I don't want another Kyrie Irving flat earther guy and all that craziness. He's another one. So I'm glad he's gone from the Brooklyn Nets. Mom, T-Drake did. Yeah. Zach loves it. His mom loving spring. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, too. They paid a lot for Favre and didn't really work out. I like Mike White. He showed enough to get a shot. He did. So, but we'll see. Gaston House. Yeah, he was good, Anthony. Rodgers on Jeopardy. Yeah. But I would pass on him. Let him go to the Raiders because I think all signs are pointing towards him replacing Carr in Vegas. So we'll see. Hayden, yeah, I mean, I'm not sad both of them are gone. I thought they could have gotten more for him, but Durant wasn't a major drama queen like Kyrie Irving was. So, but I don't like the fact that they're ball hogs. About to say Rodgers is the Kyrie of it. Yeah, D-Rod, it's just unfortunate. So, but it is what it is. Nets got to buy for so did the Knicks too. The Knicks and the Nets. So Knicks are not making flashy moves, but they're just gradually getting better. And I'll take that than trying to load up with 3 guys, expecting a super team and blah, 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 and it doesn't work. And then you have to trade everybody, and it's just ridiculous. So it's ridiculous. Yeah, at the end of the day, I think Rodgers goes to the Raiders. I really do. Yeah, it could be good for Lag. You're right about that. In the NFC North, yeah, you're right about that. Could help the Lions, that's for sure, T. Drake. Mike White showed, he showed enough to get players' attention and respect. So gotta give him that. Zach Plesac. I don't know if he's available from Cleveland. Nicholas, I don't know, man. we'll see what the Yankees do in terms of their number 5 pitcher. I think they're probably going to play it by ear unless they go out and get somebody in the next couple of days. But we'll see. Joe Namath won number 12, so Rogers ain't coming. Yeah, well, he's not going to take Namath's number, that's for sure. Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe. Rogers to the Buccaneers and Carr to Atlanta. That would be interesting. Interesting picks, Dwayne. Eric, what's up, man? Rogers put there. Whatever happened. Yeah. You have me thinking about watching a Hangover now, dude. Yeah, Davey, I would agree. You can build a solid team if they play defense and make the shot when you need to. And the Nets have been suspect, and the Knicks have been suspect for the last couple of years in defense. We know Harden wasn't a really defensive guy. Some of these other guys have been defensive guys. So, and the Knicks struggle. But I like this. Josh Hart was Villanova as well with Brunson. So I like that's the only trade that they made at the deadline last week, but it was a good one. So got to live the dream, Eric, baby. You got to live the dream, man. Am I going for? It depends, Elvis. I'd like to. I can get tickets, pretty easily. So I can get tickets the week of if I wanted to. So, but it depends. We're putting an addition. Doing a lot of the work, helping. So it's really that, and addition's a priority. So I got to take care of that. Maybe Rogers is crazy. T. Drake, he's nuts. What would Victor Batello's take on Aaron Rodgers be? I can only imagine, Sunil. I invited him to come on this channel, by the way, so hopefully one day he says yes. It would be freaking nuts. Really would be. Would be nuts. But anyway, let me let you guys and gals go. I appreciate you coming on. We talked about, again, Brian Reynolds. We talked about Frankie Montas and some young Trevor Bauer were the 3, I think, main topics of conversation tonight. So I appreciate all of your insight. And I get there's a lot of frustrated people. Man, it's really hard to not be frustrated. So I get it. But we'll continue chatting about this on Saturday night. And again, we'll have a couple of days. We'll have 3 days of spring training under the belt. So I'm sure there's gonna be more to talk about. But if anybody here's not subscribed to the channel, I hope you do that because I'm going to report everything Yankees every day. So I'll make sure that you don't miss anything. So I appreciate you. But thanks so much for your support, everybody. You wanted Donovan Mitchell cost the freaking haul because with Cleveland now, right, Davey? Yeah, it was a ridiculous package that Cleveland gave up for him. So, but have a great night, everybody. Peace and love. Over and out. Talk to you next time.